is Bessie Smith, Poor Man's Blues, and my name is Dr. Michelle S. Johnson. I'm one of the co-directors of the Institute of Public Scholarship. I do a lot of things in Kalamazoo, including I'm a DJ, and I go by DJ Disobedience. But I also work with people who are interested in history and culture, like social studies, writing and literature, and music. I help people prepare materials for exhibits, markers, art productions, plays, and performances. And that's what we call a public scholar, or what I call a public scholar, somebody who takes what they learned in the university and what they research in the university and bring it out and make it something that other people can relate to. And so that's why I'm so excited today to share this book called Black Heroes by Arlisha Norwood. 51 people, black people, and their interesting stories. But today, I'm going to talk about Bessie Smith. So you'll find on page 109 a story about Bessie Smith. I'll let you know that I'm going to mostly call her Bessie Smith because I didn't get a chance to meet her, and I believe that you don't call your elders by their first names, and so I never got a chance to meet Bessie Smith. I wish I had. And she never got a chance to tell me, oh, just call me Bessie. So out of respect for my elders, I will call her Bessie Smith. And there she is, a picture of her. Bessie Smith, 1894 to 1937. Bessie Smith was a famous singer and entertainer. She was the most popular female blues singer of the 1920s and 1930s. Bessie Smith was born in 1894 in Tennessee. Before she was 9 years old, Bessie Smith lost her father, mother, and a brother. Her older sister Viola took over the family. The remaining family, now Bessie, Viola, and brothers Andrew and Clarence, struggled to make ends meet. In order to make money, Bessie Smith and her brother Andrew took to performing in the streets. Her brother Clarence joined a traveling show, and a few years later, Bessie Smith followed his lead, working as a dancer. Bessie Smith was mentored by another famous African-American singer named Ma Rainey. Rainey taught Bessie Smith how to command the stage with emotion and power. In 1923, Bessie began her recording career as a singer. Her music immediately became popular with African Americans. She mostly performed and recorded the blues. Bessie Smith's music illuminated the hardships of working-class African Americans in the South. She was not afraid to discuss issues of racism, income inequality, and gender. Bessie Smith had a recognizable and passionate voice that drew listeners to her. Her shows were well attended by many who identified with her music and life. Her adoring fans and reviewers gave her the title Empress of the Blues. During the height of her career, Bessie Smith was the highest paid African American entertainer. Her intense travel schedule called for her to use a private train car, which was unheard of for a black person during the racially segregated era. Throughout her career, Bessie Smith recorded nearly 160 songs and performances. She also starred in a film and in one Broadway play. When Bessie Smith passed away in 1937, many people attended her funeral. An estimated 10,000 mourners paid their respects. But despite her popularity, her grave remained unmarked until 1970, when Bessie Smith's friends and other musicians paid for a tombstone. Since 1983, 3 of Bessie's recordings have been added to the Grammy Hall of Fame. The induction is a testimony of Bessie Smith's influence and significance as a musician. Today, she is recognized as one of the greatest singers of the blues and jazz era. Open up your heart and mind. So what I love about Bessie Smith is that she was so courageous and that she was committed to telling people's everyday stories and telling the stories of everyday people. And so I hope that you'll also listen to the story or watch the story about Zora Neale Hurston from Florida. She also loved working with people and telling stories. In fact, she lived at the same time as Bessie Smith, and in 1927, her and Langston Hughes, and those of you who are interested in poetry will want to know more about Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes traveled from Mobile, Alabama to New York in 1927, and while on their way, they stopped in Macon, Georgia, and visited Bessie Smith and hung out with her and listened to her show. And then they went on to collect folklore back in the woods and talking to people in various places. And so collected stories of everyday people that Bessie Smith, people like Bessie Smith, were listening to. So I hope that you've enjoyed this time. And again, make sure to listen to all of the stories that you can find about Black heroes and Black History Month.